I'm rooting for the poison apple.
Oh boy.
Mud Brown and the 7 Discord mods.
Nice.
In short, hey ho, don't go. You can be, most people in Hollywood have been Democrats, or certainly more liberal for a very long time. When you actively insult, attack, and berate your audience, however, they will turn you off. Yeah, this edition is Who'd Have Seen This Coming?
Maybe the Wicked Witch, or what's her name? The Queen, or what the... I don't know.
Gal Gadot with the worst acting chops ever. Noodles, you actually said before we get into Snow White and the abysmal box office performance, which is direct proof of far left content not doing well, you said that there's something more current on this too.
Yeah, so speaking of Disney, apparently Marvel's got a big announcement coming out today, but as far as streaming is concerned, we're beating it.
Oh,
great. They care.
Awesome. This is, so let me give you some quick numbers. 43 million is what it took in the United States, okay? That's the second worst premiere of a Disney live-action movie ever.
What was the other one? What was worse than that?
It was only beat, I think it was beat by the Lion King prequel, Mufasa.
Oh my gosh.
I think so.
Yeah, I wasn't really interested in that.
Yeah, so
that
hasn't
been cool.
It hasn't done very well. They need 250 million to break even. Here's the lesson.
Gosh.
You can be, most people in Hollywood have been Democrats, or certainly more liberal for a very long time. When you actively insult, attack, and berate your audience, however, they will turn you off. Now, the job that we have to do, and we have to be effective in doing this, is making sure that Americans realize this is taking place all the time. Like, for example, a lot of people up until Colin Kaepernick thought that, my God, the NFL was patriotic. And then they realized that wasn't true. Or Bud Light. I remember hearing someone go like, I drink Bud Light because it employs Americans. I was in Michigan. I was like, there's only 50 breweries. If I were to drop a pin right now that you could walk to.
You drink Bud Light because in 18 cases under $20.
Yeah.
Yes, and because of the marketing. You're pay of the $20, $19.50 is spent on marketing. So this has been going on for a very, very long time. And it's been going on for such a long time that the left became comfortable doing it, where they were more, I guess I should say, out in the open in attacking you. But this is not new. And at this point, Americans have rejected it. So not only the critics also didn't really like it all that much. 42% as a critic rating on Rotten Tomatoes, 1.7 out of 10 on IMDb.
Wait, was that a 74% fans
score?
That surprises me.
That is maybe it's good.
Maybe it's good. I'm willing to bet that you probably have a bunch of activists going like, "Come on, we have to make this. This is one for the girls." Mm-hmm. Now, if there's one thing to be gleaned from this, it's actually the sheer quality of the negative reviews. So let me read you some quotes. It says, I paid nothing to watch the trailer, but I want my money back.
Oh, that's nice. Nice job.
And funny, this is a joke I made years ago, but if they streamed it on an airplane, I would still walk out.
Yes. That's
an old joke.
That's theft.
I'm rooting for the poison apple.
Oh, boy. Oh,
Mud Brown and the 7 Discord mods.
Nice.
In short, hey ho, don't go. Gene Shallot's getting some edge.
That's weird. Yeah. Did you see that there?
I say, hey ho, she's a lying whore. Okay, Shallot.
So there were some midgets protesting this, by the way. Little people. I don't know really what to call them to be sensitive, but nonetheless, it was.
You're supposed to say dwarves, which seems
There's
more
a difference.
offensive.
It does sound.
There's a difference between dwarves and midgets.
Okay, so people that are small that could have played this role.
Yeah.
The 7 dwarfs. So actual dwarfs were like,
what is a dwarf versus a midget?
I don't know the difference, but I know there is one. I knew one angry midget, which, by the way, I think they all are. But I met one. I knew one. He's a comic in Tacoma, and he was talking about it. There's like an actual association. I think the Association of Midgets. It used to be the Association of Midgets. Now it's like the Little People.
It's a small group.
So
I thought the dwarves, because dwarfism is the appropriate medical nomenclature. I thought that they were like dwarves, which just seems more offensive.
I could be making this up, but
I think you're making it up.
I might be fishing for an admonishment here, but I stand by it.
I think dwarves are what we used to refer to as midgets.
Is that?
The point is,
or can we just say midgie?
Midget, dwarf, they're out of work. They're replaced by CGI things. Like, this is just a perfect
example.
That. When there's
Thing 1 and Thing 12.
There's no guiding principle, just progress for the sake of progress, and you're just trying to weave around offense after offense. And someone goes like, hey, 7 dwarves is offensive to midgets. You're like, oh, okay, so let's just not employ any of them.
Yes, Peter Dinklage.
Okay. So apparently the difference is midget refers to a person who is very short but normally proportioned.
That's not true. That's not how I use. That's not how I use it. That's not how society has used
See
it.
the other side. What's the dwarf?
Dwarf refers to a person with one of several varieties of a specific genetic condition called dwarfism. A dwarf has disproportionate body parts.
So a midget could be like
like
3
a
feet
huge
tall,
wang.
but everything is proportionate. It makes sense. Like the arms and the
Little
legs
arms and a
make
big head.
Yeah, but dwarf will have like little tiny body but bigger arms or a big penis
That
or whatever.
seems like so. That seems so much worse because there's a process where you have to meet the qualifications. Where someone's like,
Yes.
"Oh gosh, your hands are way too big for your body." I guess you qualify.
So kids are technically midgets.
Yeah, but we've never.
No, because that's
Yes.
their age.
Yeah.
No, it's they're equally
Proportions.
proportioned.
No,
What about
They're
Asians?
short.
It does say adult, an extremely short adult.
Well, that doesn't matter. Nobody uses
You're right.
it like
Asians
that.
are midgets.
Yeah. Well, then I guess
No, they have to be under a certain height, right?
Danny
Well,
DeVito,
yeah.
is Danny
58
DeVito like
inches.
a barely passable? He's kind of between the two.
I think Danny DeVito technically is a midget.
He has
Midget
to
or
be a
dwarf?
midget.
Midget? Because he's
Super
proportionate.
short.
He's not very proportionate.
He is
Well, the belly's not.
4'10".
But that's
He's 4'10" and he has
he's not-
orangutan.
Oh, he's not a midget then.
Yes.
No,
Maybe he's a
I think you
dwarf.
gotta- I think I'd be like under 4'6", and I'm making that up for sure.
No, you're definitely making that up. I think it's if you're under 5 foot, you get midget money for college.
No, he makes it right on the dot. It says under 58 inches, and he is 58 inches.
So he's not a midget.
So he is a full-grown man.
He is just barely.
How did he get a career in acting?
Well, he's a good
He's
actor.
amazing.
No, I know.
hilarious.
I'm just saying, like, it's just, it boggles my mind, though, because in every movie, other than twins, because they actually make a big deal out of it.
Right.
In every other movie, I don't really know that he's that short.
Yeah, they
I
don't.
mean, average height at least in America is like 5'9".
Yeah, he's
Yeah, he's like
substantially
a
shorter.
So that's a
Under it.
foot shorter.
That's a lot shorter.
That's less than a foot shorter. It's not that much.
That is a lot.
Especially for an Italian guy. I don't know. I'm trying to pull this out of my ass.
Yeah,
right now.
I think I know. I definitely.
You're working on it.
The point is, they don't harp on it. It's like he's little. We know, but he's a good actor.
He's that good. Yeah, I guess that's the best answer. I just have never. I mean, we grew up with him being like a big movie star
Yeah.
for us. Like, and I've never thought of him as being short other than in Twins.
We'll put it this way. The difference between Steven and I in height is the same as the difference between Danny DeVito and I in height, which is crazy because me standing
Whoa.
next to Steven is wildly different.
Wow.
Yeah, it's we're standing next to Gerald, but you know,
true.
he's only got 3 years
Yeah,
left.
Gerald's a monster.
Not true.
Tall guys do not last long.
Well, they'd last somewhat shorter or periods of time.
No, it's tall guys, black guys, and midgets.
Gerald's great uncle got killed by David.
That makes sense.
I don't think so. Doesn't that make me a Philistine?
Yeah,
Makes you a giant for
your
sure.
great uncle had a big mouth.
You got a rock right here.
A stone and a leather stroke solved it.
We moved to Germany after that.
Oh, that's why Gerald has a no slingshot policy.
That's
He
right,
does.
yeah.
He has a no slingshot policy.
That makes
Just
sense.
always feels wrong. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
it does. I understand it, right? Family first. I get it. So with Snow White, let's go through this, right? There's no prince. Woman doesn't need a prince.
Oh, Lord.
Really? Okay. Good
Shut
luck back then. It's just so stupid. Like, of course you do. It doesn't need a prince to save her, and not surrounded by 7 weird people. Oh, okay. Just CGI fictional goblins, I guess. And then she came out and said that, what did she say? That she had no empathy for Trump voters. Like she was.
Oh, it was worse than that.
What's crazy about this is Disney has been so careful and controlling for a long time as far as the narrative and protecting their brand.
Yes,
And
it's
what
just-
their actors say. I mean, there's a famous video of Avengers Infinity War backstage where one guy was like I can't remember which one. One of them was taking a video of all the Avengers in the same room.
Right.
In like plain clothes, and someone's like, that's an illegal video. You're gonna get sued for that if it gets out.
Yeah.
And it's like they kept so much of those stories under wraps.
Yeah.
And I get it. There's a difference between spoiling and whatever, but to go out and badmouth everybody and talk smack about, I mean, older movies in the same franchise, the canon story, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I feel like they would have had better control over that.
Well, no, you know, I do wonder if it's generational because we've also struggled with this in the office. For example, people from a different generation and from our generation, and really anyone outside of Gen Z or younger millennials, you understand that when you are employed by someone, there's an agreement and you have to abide by certain terms. And this is something I've always been very clear about. Like, hey, YouTube, for example, X, these are open. These are supposed to be platforms, not publishers, right? So you are supposed to be able to upload anything you want because it's a digital town square. They're afforded those legal protections. I understand that if I write for the New York Times, or for example, when I was working at Fox News, if they say you can't discuss it, well, that's part of the deal with the employer. I understand that. Young people feel like, what? So now you're anti-freedom of speech just because you're signing my check. It's like, yeah, we've had that here too, where remember, we have NDAs here because we have an investigative journalism unit. Yes. And we had people who were working here, young people going out talking about it. We're like, hey, you can talk, you can say you work a job, whatever. You cannot talk about trade secrets and certainly not compromise our investigative journalists in the field. What, so no free speech? These people could get shot.
That's true.
Also, you're not the government.
No, exactly.
You don't have to work here.
No, exactly.
So, yeah,
we're pretty loose.
You choose to work here? Okay, well, here's the condition.
So I wonder if this girl's like, you know what? You are not. And by the way, this happens with people on the right too, who take the money and then want to act like they're a martyr afterwards and speak out against it. We have consistently we've said, no, I can't take that money because that's effectively blood money. If you pay me, then tell me what I can or cannot say. That's why I own 100% of Louder with Credit. Then I can't bitch about it. This girl took the money and then decided that she wanted to go out there and, you know what, I'm going to take my stand. Well, you should have made that stand before you took the money to promote a film, because that's not in line with your job description.
Right. I think this is their policies coming back to bite them. They went woke.
Yeah.
She went out and said stuff woke that was going to hurt the film. They couldn't come out and go against her because then you're going after somebody for saying what you say you believe.
Well, they pulled her
that
premiere.
That would have been a ton of backlash. Now, they moved things around, but they didn't can this girl. They didn't pull her completely and scrap the film and do it again or whatever. Maybe it was too costly at that point to do it. But I understand you can't spend another $250 million on this for reshoots. But at the same time, like, I think going forward, they're going to be like, hey, shut up.
Yeah.
Tight-lipped. Otherwise, guess what? We're clawing back some money.
Yeah. This would have been a lot better if they, had a strong male along with her, a prince, if it wasn't about socialism, if they didn't remove the dwarves, if they had real dwarves. Crying out loud, it's one of the perks. You get to watch Snow White.
I think they could have done all that woke shit. You want to cut woke? They could have done all that still. And as long as she had gone out and been like, well, we just have a different story. I like the old story, but we're doing a different one this time.
You're probably right.
The backlash would have been 10 times.
Yes. You're probably right.
The opposite of 10 times
because
worse.
A lot of Americans, unfortunately, even people who vote for Donald Trump, they're easily fooled by that. And I'll be watching and go, you see what they're saying, right? What? I didn't get that. I'm like, every single white male is a piece of shit, and the woman is the hero, and all authority is bad, and all business is bad, but government is good as social. And most people don't know what they're watching. She, unfortunately, sort of pulled the curtain back and people knew exactly what was going on. Yes, Toolman.
Yeah, I have a clip of it.
Oh, okay, great.
Her being a retard.
Okay.
It's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White.
That laugh.
That is
not going to be saved by
you
the
wrote
prince.
it?
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Our rights are on the line, folks.
The right to buy Cosby sweaters?
Come on.
That's the face of a serial killer.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button. I don't need your business.
Noted.
Thanks.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Say it louder so your other eye can hear you.
So we didn't do that this time.
You don't particularly see people who, look like me or are me playing roles like that. So it was definitely when it got announced.
White!
He wasn't a stalker, by the way.
Thing that was like trending on Twitter for days because all of the people were angry. And so it was like
those people.
Very much this, yes. It was this
people that
awakening
we need to educate, the people that we need to love into awareness.
love them in the right direction.
No, the people who you need to entertain, the people who you need to serve, the people who pay your salary. And by the way, that's what I've said here too. I have to serve you. Right now, Mug Club, Rumble Premium. Otherwise, I have to serve 10 sponsors a show. Or I'd have to serve a giant nonprofit, or I'd have to serve someone else who owns the company, or I'd have to serve a government or a foreign entity funding us. You always do have a master that you serve. I much more appreciate this dynamic now, seeing what happens here in Hollywood, because everyone is serving a master.
Yeah.
Everyone is serving a master. It's just her going, we need to no, you don't need, it's not your job. Your job is to entertain. You are paid to entertain. That's what this is. Also, it's very disturbing to me that I am noticing that lead actresses in live Disney films, their eyes keep drifting further and further apart.
What is that?
You got Little Mermaid and you got her, and it's just like, it's like the super soaker that can shoot around corners.
It's very
turning
awful.
into Ice Age.
It's fetal alcohol syndrome.
I was about to say, I think that's what it is, right?
Down genetically. Like if one mother has fetal alcohol syndrome and she passes it to a child, it's there forever.
Well, it's sort of, well, it's the child has fetal alcohol.
Like they're very far apart.
Yeah, but then it carries on to
No,
the next
I know, but the
generation.
way you said it sounded like the mom had it. The mom doesn't have it. The mom drinks too much and gives it to the child. Yeah.
There you go.
So,
Yeah. Point is,
has
she's an idiot.
one-
Hey, if you're still watching, this is the part where I increase interactions and tell you to comment below. What do you think? Right, because that works. But if you don't, you can just click one of these videos playing in a similar vein, or it may autoplay. Ooh, that's fun.